Pardon. In this video, we are going to learn about types of cost that we are going to use in marginal costing. So let me first share the screen. So as we had discussed in the last class, we are having certain definitions. The meaning of those terms have to be understood in the way it is being defined over here. So let us start with first something known as marginal cost. So over here, when I say marginal cost, what does it mean? It means that the change in the aggregate cost will change in the volume of production by 1 unit. That means what is the change in the total cost of a product or a service if there is 1 unit of extra production being done. So it is just a change in total cost due to a change in 1 unit of extra production. Understand, the word uses production and not sales. Then we say the increase or decrease in total cost is by the same amount because the variable costs always remain constant per unit. So in this unit, we are going to understand that marginal costing basically divides cost in two parts. One is a variable cost and one is a fixed cost. So we are going to understand these things in detail as we go ahead. So more towards definitions. We right now define marginal cost. Now let me define what we mean by marginal costing. Marginal costing is defined as the ascertainment of cost and measuring the impact on profits of the change in volume of the output or type of output. This is subject to one assumption that the fixed cost remains unchanged irrespective for the change in the volume of output or type of output. That means we are going to understand over here, marginal costing will help us to know or measure the impact of cost. The impact of cost will change in either the quantity of production or the mix of production on the profits that we are going to make. So if I was making say 100 units and then if I start making 200 units, what is the impact of this increase in the quantity produced on my profits? Or I was producing products A and B in the ratio say 50-50. Then I decided to make products A 60 and B 40. Then what is the impact of such change in the type of production on my profits? So this is basically what marginal costing will help us to understand. Now over here, there are certain features of marginal costing which are important to be understood. So first is that the appropriate and accurate division of total cost of fixed cost and variable cost by picking out the variable portion of semi-variable cost also. So what does it mean? It means over here that in marginal costing, as I told you, we'll be having basically two classifications of cost, the fixed cost and the marginal cost. Sorry, the fixed cost and the variable cost. Now what happens in real life is that the fixed cost also remains fixed only for a certain level of production. So presume that you have a godown or you have a factory of say 1,000 square feet. Okay? Now that 1,000 square feet is appropriate for production of say 1 lakh units. However, if you want to add more production, then you would have to take more place on rent. So what will happen is that the rent, which is a fixed cost, up till 1 lakh units of production, will increase as we want to produce more than 1 lakh units. So what will happen is that it is straight away this, but then if I want to say produce, say 1 lakh 10,000 units, so will I get small that a small 100 square feet? Probably I will not. So what I do is that the cost, that is the fixed cost of rent, will go up in steps. So it might be feasible for me more so as to take on rent a place which is say 1,000 square feet more. So what will happen is that the rent would be doubled. However, the production will not be doubled. So this is known as the step cost, wherein the cost remains same up to a specific level of output, and then it goes up and again it remains same. So when we are going to find such cost, marginal costing, we also have techniques or the methods to again break up the step up cost or the semi-variable cost in two parts, that is variable and fixed. The other feature of marginal costing is that valuation of stock such as FG, WIP is valued at variable cost only. In absorption costing, as we had discussed, we value the stock at full cost. However, in marginal costing, we are going to value the stock only at variable cost. So no fixed cost will come in the production of in the valuation of marginal costing. Sorry, in the valuation of stocks. The fixed costs are written off soon after they are incurred and do not find the place in the production cost or inventories. So what will happen is that the fixed cost that we are going to incur is separately recorded in the costing profit and loss account, and it is not taken into consideration while costing or while getting the value of the product. So the fixed cost will be directly taken to the costing profit and loss account. The pricing that that are going to be based for the product will be based on marginal cost and marginal contribution. That means we are going to price the product on the basis of only variable cost, because that is what we are going to take as a part of our product cost. Now, this is one very important thing to be noted, that this can lead to price war between the companies, because you are not taking the full cost of the product into consideration. You are taking only the variable cost. This might trigger a price war in the different companies in the same industry. Now, it combines the techniques of cost recording, cost reporting. This we are going to see ahead in the class when we meet again. So let me first come to variable cost. Now over here we say variable costs will vary in direct proportion to the changes in the level of activity. Certain examples of variable cost are direct material, direct labor, sales commission, fuel for a trucking company, and so on. These things will keep on increasing or decreasing depending upon the level of production activity that happens. So if I was making 100 units of product for which I required say 10 units of material, and if I increase this 100 unit to 200 unit, it might happen that I might have to require 10 kgs to 10 units of RM2, I might have to take more 20 kgs of say 20 units of RM. So as the production will go up, the material requirement will go up. As the production will go down, the material requirement might go down. The activity based is the item or the event that causes the incurrence. So what is the trigger of this cost? The trigger is the production. So all the variable costs, the trigger is the level of production that we have at our place. Activity can relate to labor hours worked, units sold, customers processed, or other cost drivers. So over here, it can there will be certain activities that are related to labor hours, units sold, customers processed, and other costs. So take for example, if you are having a call center, then the cost trigger or the cost driver that will drive the use of the time of the telecallers would be the number of calls that he gets. Okay, so we are going to learn all these things as we go ahead, even in activity based costing. Over here, what we need to mark down is that the variable cost depends upon production. Production goes up, variable cost will go up. Production goes down, variable cost goes down. There are certain inherent things that you should be understanding about variable cost. Let me explain them with the use of an example. Okay, so let us take it this way. We have units that are produced over here: 1 lakh, 1,25,000, 1,50,000, and so on. The variable cost per unit is given to us as 11, 11, 11, 11, 11. And the total variable cost to us is given that you can get is by doing it this way. Just multiply the units that were produced into the variable cost per unit. So once we do that, you understand that the total variable cost is 1,10,000 over here. And it keeps on increasing. Now you can see over here that my total variable cost keeps on increasing as the production units goes on increasing. It keeps on reducing as the number of units produced goes on decreasing. However, my variable cost per unit remains same throughout the level of production. So two things you have to mark over here. Variable cost per unit will remain same no matter whatever is the production quantity, and the total variable cost will depend upon the units that you are going to produce. However, there are certain practical things that will impact these things, which we will discuss in the class when we are there for the regular lectures. After that, we have fixed cost. Now, what is fixed cost? You can also call it, say, a period cost. So let us go back to our PPT to understand it better. So over here we say that fixed cost, a cost which accrues in relation to passage of time and which within certain output or turnover limits tends to be unaffected by fluctuations in volume of output or turnover. So when I say fixed cost, what does it mean? It basically means what? It means that it is the trigger of fixed cost is not the production. It is basically a time. So examples can be salaries that you pay to the admin staff, Now, admin staff doesn't directly produce goods or provide services. It supports the activity of production. Rents that we have to pay. Now, rent, whether you produce or you don't produce, whether you use your office or don't use your office, you have to pay the rent, that for sure. Property taxes, the security that you have, the networking infrastructure that we are having. So all these things are fixed costs. They are there whether the production is there or not. They are there because we have rented it out or we have bought it for to support our activities. Fixed costs are going to be there no matter whatever your production activities are. So they are basically known as the fixed cost. Let us understand back what do you mean by fixed cost by the use of same example ahead. Now, if I say that my fixed cost, say we example taken away is factory rent, is say 12 lakh rupees. Now you can say that the number of units keeps on increasing, however the fixed cost remains same. But you can say that the fixed cost per unit keeps on reducing. That is, when I divide 12 lakhs by 1 lakh, the fixed cost per unit becomes 12, and it keeps on reducing as the production keeps on increasing. So my factory rent, that is the total fixed cost, remains same no matter whatever is the production that we are having. However, my fixed cost per unit keeps on reducing as I keep on increasing my units that are produced. You can relate this back to the variable cost. We saw that in the variable cost, the total variable cost keeps on increasing as the production keeps on increasing. However, the total fixed cost remains same no matter how much you are having your production is there. You can say that the variable cost per unit remains same no matter whatever is your production. You can say that the fixed cost per unit keeps on reducing as you increase the production. So over here, you can relate this very well with the economic fundamental of economies of scale. We always say that as the production keeps on increasing, the economies of scale step in, and then you can benefit with the reduction in the cost per unit of everything. So this is what we mean by fixed cost and the variable cost. We are going to learn more about the semi-variable cost in the lecture when we meet in the next session. Thank you so much.